This is what happens when YouTube animators either earn the love of millions or destroy their reputation so badly that the entire community turns against them. On one side, you have creators who shared their real stories, opened up about their struggles, and built audiences that would follow them anywhere.
I'm awkward. I try really hard not to be, and sometimes I feel like I'm getting better, but I'd say 70% of the time, my social skills are very below par.
On the other side, you have animators who lied to their fans, betrayed their friends, and tried to exploit the system until the internet came for them. These stories show exactly what separates the most loved from the most hated in the world of YouTube animation. Jaiden started her channel in 2014 when she was just 16 years old. And over the next decade, she would become one of the most beloved creators in the entire animation community by doing something that terrified her. She told the truth about her life.
I'm awkward. I try really hard not to be, and sometimes I feel like I'm getting better, but I'd say 70% of the time, my social skills are very below par. It's like my brain just randomly decides, hey, yeah, you see that person over there? Okay, so here's the plan. You're gonna walk over there, everything's gonna be fine for like 2 minutes, and then you're gonna say something completely stupid and then cringe about it for the next 4 years. Ready? Now go!
While other animators stuck to safe topics and funny stories, Jaiden opened up about her battles with anxiety, depression, and an eating disorder that had nearly destroyed her. In her video about why she never did a face reveal, she explained how she had struggled with her appearance for years, and how showing her face felt impossible during those dark times. That kind of honesty connected with millions of viewers who were dealing with similar struggles, and they responded by supporting her in ways that went far beyond just watching videos. Her channel grew to over 15 million subscribers and more than 3 billion views, because people felt like they actually knew her as a person. Won a Streamy Award for Best Animated Channel in 2020, appeared in YouTube Rewind, and even came out as aromantic asexual in 2022 in a video that got over 17 million views. She also used her platform for good, raising over $20,000 for bird conservation and hundreds of thousands more for various charities.
I didn't know what that was either. Aromantic and asexual are two different things, and I'm gonna break them down to you separately, starting with aromantic because no one really knows what that one is. And also, it's my personal favorite. Someone who's aromantic is defined as a person who feels very little to no romantic attraction to anyone at all. So like, they might not develop crushes on people or feel the need to be in a romantic relationship with anyone.
But the moment that showed her real character came when she finally decided to reveal her face on her own terms, taking back control of a decision that had been stolen from her years earlier by someone she thought was a friend. Betrayal is exactly where our first hated animator enters the story. Alex Clark was a rising storytime animator with millions of subscribers when he attended VidCon in 2016 alongside other popular creators, including Jaiden Animations.
And complex issue.
At that time, Jaiden was keeping her and showing her face to the world felt impossible.
I'm gonna nominate Tony V Toons and It's Alex.
When Alex filmed his VidCon vlog, Jaiden appeared in some of the footage. She asked him for one simple favor before he uploaded the video. She wanted him to blur her face because she was not ready for a public reveal. Jaiden trusted him enough that she even edited a censored version of the footage herself and sent it to him to make the process easier. All he had to do was use that version instead of the original. When the video went live, Jaiden's face was completely visible. Alex had ignored her request and posted the uncensored footage anyway, effectively revealing her face to the internet without her consent during the worst period of her mental health struggles. The animation community figured out what happened almost immediately, especially when Alex deleted his VidCon vlog the same day Jaiden released her video explaining the situation. That deletion was basically an admission of guilt.
That involves another person's mental health and their privacy. In a public statement, I want to respect Jaiden's experiences and struggles, even though we disagree on what happened. Because everything I did was from a place of support or wanting to make things right. And let me explain what happened on my end of it.
Alex's reputation took a massive hit that he never fully recovered from. His viewership declined sharply, and even though he still uploads today with around 4 million subscribers, many in the community remember him primarily as the guy who betrayed Jaiden's trust for content. Meanwhile, the animator who showed how to handle success with integrity was quietly building one of the biggest channels on the entire platform. Alan Becker started making animations as a teenager and posted his first work on Newgrounds back in 2006. His breakthrough came with a simple but brilliant concept called animator versus animation, where a stick figure character fights against the animator trying to control it. That original video went viral, and Alan spent the next 2 decades expanding on the concept while never compromising on quality or trying to game the algorithm with cheap content. His patience and dedication paid off in ways that nobody could have predicted. By 2026, his channel had grown to over 32 million subscribers and more than 9 billion views, making him one of the biggest animation channels on the entire platform. But what really set Alan apart was how he used his success. Instead of just making entertainment, he started creating educational content that taught complex subjects through animation. His video Animation vs. Math got over 100 million views and won him a $50,000 award for making mathematics accessible to young viewers. He followed that up with videos on physics, geometry, and coding, turning his stick figure universe into a tool for learning while never losing the creativity and humor that made people fall in love with his work in the first place. Alan proved that you could build a massive audience without scandals, without drama, and without cutting corners. All it took was genuine talent and a commitment to making something people actually wanted to watch. And while Alan was quietly dominating through quality, other creators were trying to manufacture success through deception. Actually Happened appeared on YouTube in 2018 as a storytime animation channel that claimed to feature real stories submitted by viewers. The videos had titles designed to grab attention with shocking scenarios, and they uploaded new content almost every single day.
So taking a cursory glance, you can see Actually Happened here, the YouTube channel, and then you can see this. Actually Happened, Wikitubia fandom. Actually Happened's a YouTube channel and media platform owned by The Soul Publishing, a company based in, I'm not gonna try to pronounce that uploads videos or storytime animations sent by fans on the internet similar to Story Booth. To boil it down, it's basically storytime animator like Story Booth. I thought it was like the Islands Out, but apparently they based it off Story Booth, but they're kind of similar anyways, except for the fact that it's fan submitted instead of them talking about their experiences, so that's really the main difference. One of the things that may or may not surprise you depending on how long you know this channel is The Soul Publishing. It's a company, but who is this company? This is their website, an independent digital studio that produces enjoyable, informative, and inspiring original content for a global audience. Our channels. This is The Bright Side, 5-minute hacks, some other channels I don't actually know. 5-minute crafts, Bright Side, 7-second riddle, 3, 2, 1, go, avocado couple, Franken food, slick slime sand, and dude land. So basically what you need to know is that The Soul Publishing is a company that specializes in internet video and tries to make them as shareable as possible. One thing that's weird about the website is that there is no mention of Actually Happened, and trust me, I've tried. So I guess we have to do our own homework then.
The channel exploded in popularity because the algorithm rewarded frequent uploads, and viewers were drawn in by the dramatic stories that seemed almost too wild to believe. As it turned out, those stories were too wild to believe because most of them were completely fake. The channel was owned by The Soul Publishing, a content company that treated animation as a product to be manufactured rather than an art form to be respected. Investigators discovered that the company had a playbook for inventing stories, often pulling ideas from Reddit posts and then fabricating emotional narratives around them. YouTuber Jarvis Johnson led the charge in exposing the truth, creating multiple videos that detailed exactly how actually happened was deceiving its audience. He obtained evidence from insiders that confirmed the stories were scripted fakes designed purely to generate views and revenue. The revelation felt like a betrayal to viewers who had connected emotionally with stories they believed were real. Genuine animators who spent weeks on a single video watched in frustration as this content farm churned out daily uploads with no regard for truth or quality.
So you might see something weird that actually happened. They don't actually have any content on their channel. I mean, they post a lot of videos, don't get me wrong. They have like over 1 billion views. But when you check here, it doesn't have any videos, no playlists, nothing. Now, for those of you who don't know what actually happened is, it's like that channel where you go and take the odd ones out and make it low quality, and then you make the post every single day. Yep. It's one of those animated storytime channels, which is like the odd ones out, Jaiden Animations, those other guys, Squeezy. Except they make it low quality and they always sensationalize their topics. Like, if you include died, almost died, pregnant, that type of stuff, you're guaranteed to get a viral video. You can see they have grown because of their low effort videos, which allows them to post so quickly, unlike other animation channels, which takes like a month, maybe even more, depending on the video and how long it is. And you can definitely see that they have no more views now because all their videos are gone. Which leads to another thing. What happened? Now you might first think that they got terminated, which is a really good guess, as you know, this is a really low quality channel. Not trying to say they're bad in any way, but according to the YouTube community, they are not really well liked. Now if you go through YouTube's about page, most of the policies here you would see don't really apply to actually happened. Nudity, harmful, hateful, violent, harassment, spam, well maybe spam, threat, copyright, privacy, impersonation, child safety, and additional policy. Now let's go to spam. Spam, misleading data, and scams. Everybody hates spams, do not blah 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 blah. Now this is what I want to focus on because actually happened in those other channels, these storytime animated channels, they're really pushing the boundaries of what is considered spam, deceptive practices, and scams. What these policies mean from you: video spam, content that is excessively posted, repetitive, or untargeted and does one or more of the following. Promises viewers that see something directs them at the site, gets clicks, views, traffic, promising to make money fast, sends audience to malware, blah 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 blah. Now you could argue that their content is excessively posted, repetitive, and or untargeted.
The backlash built until actually happened suddenly shut down in mid-2020, making all of its videos private overnight. The channel that had gamed its way to millions of subscribers disappeared almost as quickly as it had risen, and nobody in the animation community mourned its loss. But the fake story channels were just one symptom of a larger problem, and the real animators had been fighting for respect long before that scandal broke. Edd Gould was one of the original YouTube animators who helped build the community from scratch back when the platform was brand new.
Got an idea?
Nothing. We'll never get this Christmas special finished.
Whatever. I'm gonna go watch TV.
Everyone was saying for.
He started creating animations in 2000, eventually launching his series Edd's World in 2004 with a Christmas special that featured himself and his friends as cartoon characters going on silly adventures together. The show had a homemade charm that viewers loved, and Edd built a devoted fan base through years of consistent creativity. In 2006, Edd was diagnosed with leukemia. He fought the disease while continuing to create, refusing to let his health problem. When the cancer returned in 2011, he kept working until the very end. Edd passed away on March 25, 2012, at just 23 years old.
Hello, human people. I'm Neil Patrice Crumpets, and welcome to the Edd's World documentary, where we have thrills, spills,
basically waterboarded him,
and shifty eye. Edd's World.
My name is Matt Hargreaves, and I play Matt in Edd's World, as well as doing it for you other things behind the scenes.
My name is Tom Scott Ridgewell, and I am the co-writer and co-producer and co-person in it of Edd's World. I'm good at talking as well. Professional.
Hi there, I'm Eddie Bowley, and I am the co-writer and co-producer of Edd's World, alongside Tom. and I also do the voice of John, the neighbour. Well, she said we were stupid. Ah, you did the thing. I did the thing. I've known Ed for a long time through the Newgrounds community, comics community. I used to do a web comic, and Ed was a fan of it, and we kind of traded messages and stuff. And I saw, hey, you do these great cartoons, let's be friends. And so then, we'll meet up at all these conventions and just hang out and have a really
What happened next showed exactly how much the community loved him. His friend Tom Ridgewell continued the series through a project called Ed's World Legacy, and every single penny of profit from those new episodes was donated to cancer charity in Ed's honor. That donation totaled over $100,000.
time, and we do like cameo voices for each other, like he did something for me, I did something for him, and then just been a firm fan of the show for a long, long time.
Actually, I'm underwater, as are you.
Clearly, one of us is lying, so I'm going to wait until the truth comes out.
Fine with me.
I got involved with Ed's World somewhere along the lines of like 11 or so years ago when I first met Ed on a website called Stick Suicide, and he was making just these really terrible kind of stickman animations, but to me at the age of like 12 or so, I was like, this is the best thing ever, and I just kind of spammed him until eventually we were friends. Then when kind of Ed's World started up the way it is now, which was with me, Ed, Matt, and Tord, I was there. I was in his cartoon because he basically just drew his friends. So when I became one of his friends, he drew me, even though I wasn't voicing my own character at that time.
I guess we'll just have to judge who's naughty and who's nice.
Eventually I got a microphone and my voice broke. Yeah. And I started being in it.
Pardon me, neighbor. What a lovely day.
Years later, another friend named Matt Hargreaves took over the series with Ed's World Beyond, keeping Ed's creation alive for new generations of fans to discover. The community that Ed built continued to celebrate his memory through tributes, fan art, and ongoing support for the channel he started.
Could we perchance borrow a cup of your finest sugar?
Oh God, you gotta help us! Our house is haunted, it'll glow, what's destroying monuments? I don't have any of my trousers!
Ed's World began for me when I met Ed. He was already actually making a comic called Ed's World with his friends in it. It was him, David, and a couple of other guys. And then we found a couple of animation tools on the school computers. Very simple GIF stuff with stick figures. Logically, he went from drawing his friends as the much better drawn characters on the comic to stick figures. And then, obviously, when it got a bit better and we found Flash, eventually I was kind of drawn into it in terms of, well, literally being drawn into Ed's world.
He was always doodling, and I think it just was like he always wanted to.
He's just in his own world, isn't
animate.
he? That's it, pretty much.
But one of the main reasons I think it advanced and went further was he got terribly bullied when he was at junior school, and he began. People used to watch his little doodlings and drawings, and as he did the animations, he got more recognised.
Edd Gould represented everything good about the YouTube animation community. He made content because he loved it. He built friendships that lasted beyond his death, and he left behind a legacy that continues to inspire creators today. And while Ed's memory remains sacred to the community, other animators have done everything possible to earn the opposite reaction. Butch Hartman created some of the most beloved cartoons of an entire generation, including the Fairly OddParents and Danny Phantom. When he left Nickelodeon and joined YouTube, fans welcomed him as a legend entering their space. Then everything started falling apart. In 2018, Hartman launched a Kickstarter campaign for something called Waxis, which he described as a family-friendly streaming service. Loyal fans contributed over $270,000 to support his vision. After collecting all that money, Hartman appeared on religious networks and revealed that Waxis actually had a Christian agenda that he had never disclosed to the backers. Many supporters felt deceived because they had funded something completely different from what they thought they were getting. The backlash was immediate and intense.
To watch a Christian cartoon through Google Drive or on Gospel TV. Folks, you can already tell this is going to be a very different kind of video. Believe me, I would know, because I have no script. I'm just going completely off of memory and opinions. So we're all in trouble right now.
And you are gonna take me down? What, are you kidding? That's kind of a joke.
So a few days ago, I was told about this series called The Garden. It was created by Butch Hartman. And for those who don't know, Butch Hartman was the creator behind the Fairly OddParents and Danny Phantom, two popular, successful shows from Nickelodeon from, I believe, the early 2000s. Though I think the pilot for Fairly OddParents was back in the late 90s. And as far as Butch Hartman goes as a person, well, he's a man whose reputation has significantly gone downhill in the public light over the last few years. It was a thing where it's like, wow, it's Butch Hartman, the guy who made Fairly OddParents, and he's on Twitter and YouTube, and he's talking to us, and he seems so cool and nice, and he's actually like talking about his experience at Nickelodeon and what happened to Fairly OddParents and just all these things that viewers were excited about. It's like, oh wow, he's so popular and cool, and he's Daddy Hartman. Can't wait to see what Butch has to say next. And then we all began to discover some pretty unsavory things, rumors and accusations floating around him. How he said things like, there wasn't depression when I was a kid, or there really... Who says that? Depression didn't exist when I was a kid. Oh man, Butch, you just, wow.
I know kids who've committed. When I grew up, kids had a hard time, they got through it. Was never even thought about.
But that was just the beginning of his problems. In 2021, fans discovered that Hartman had been selling commissioned artwork that was traced from other artists. In one highly publicized case, a customer paid Hartman for a drawing of an Attack on Titan character, only to find out that the art was nearly identical to work created by a Japanese fan artist. Hartman had essentially copied someone else's art and sold it as his own.
Here we have the two images side by side. You have Hartman's on the left and the original by 028 Ton on the right. And the first thing you can see just by looking at them side by side is how these images are indeed very strikingly similar. And I'll use the word strikingly similar here. They have the same character, obviously. They're both drawings of Mikasa, but they are both in the exact same pose, functionally. They're both lit the same way. You can actually tell that the lighting on both characters is identical because you can look at the her right, our left arm. Our left, her right arm is in shadow on both, and that is something that would indicate the light is coming from the right, our right, her left. And that's a pretty strong indication. You have the, of course, you have the scarf, which is laying roughly the same way. And overall, the composition of these images in terms of pose and lighting and so forth are pretty much identical. But when you start getting to the details, the two images do have a lot of differences. Now, I encourage you to hear me out here and listen to this whole thing because I'm talking about why this may not be exactly a huge deal, but it has to be noted. You'll note that Hartman's version is done in a more, well, to be frank, cartoony style. It's done very much in the style that he does. You can look at the lines and the jacket and so forth. You see he has a series of lines and indentation, lines and shadow lines all down this her left arm of the jacket. They are not there on the original. Likewise, the shadow on the right arm of Mikasa in the Butch one is very different from the shadow.
He also made claims that prayer had healed his wife and suggested that prayer could cure autism. Statements that were widely condemned by medical professionals and viewers who saw them as dangerous misinformation.
Do we really see Butch Hartman as a man that even wants to change his ways, let alone take criticism? An anonymous source contacted me who worked on Butch's YouTube channel during the peak of Oaxa's controversy. Turns out that Butch wanted to control the narrative and tried to get his channel manager to copyright strike every video criticizing him. When he was told that this was a really bad move, and might I add, a flagrant abuse of the system, he left in a huff, demanding something be done. Now, I may be screaming to the void, but I think it's good to just reflect on what Butch really did wrong, by also looping it back to his own mottos. Number 1, have no fear. Butch, throughout his career, has bolstered a can-do, fearless attitude, literally saying on his YouTube channel that he has no fear.
Yes, you do. Everyone has fear. Let me put it another way. Fear comes for sure. The fear will show up. But it's your job to push the fear back. You have the power to accept fear or not accept fear. Why would you ever accept it? Why would you ever accept fear? Just because everybody around you accepts fear doesn't mean you have to do that. Don't you want to be an original?
But we know this isn't true. Like any profound narcissist, Butch does fear what he can't control, specifically the quality of his public reputation and how he's perceived by others, both of which were greatly impacted by his own actions.
Throughout all of these controversies, Hartman developed a habit of lashing out at critics online and deleting comments that challenged him. The combination of deception, plagiarism, harmful claims, and defensive behavior turned a childhood icon into someone that much of the animation community openly dislikes.
As successful as Fairly OddParents was on Nickelodeon, it could never break through to being anywhere near as popular as the #1 show on the network. You guessed it, SpongeBob SquarePants. Fairly OddParents, by Butch's omission, was even canceled and brought back 5 times over its series run. Even cartoonishly canceled and brought back within a 24-hour period by the Nickelodeon executives.
Fairly OddParents was actually canceled about 5 times during that period. The show was doing fantastic, but for some reason, Nickelodeon just decided not to keep doing the show. Ratings had never gone down on the show, but once again, for some reason, Nickelodeon, I guess they had just been done with Fairly OddParents a long time ago. Yeah, we're done. Thanks very much.
It's been nice knowing me.
Now, Fairly OddParents ratings are hard to confirm, but based on viewership that is listed in our sources, viewership was listed consistently until season 5 and 6, where a majority of specials hit high viewership numbers, but regular episodes were static. There was a clear decline in interest as time went on, as episode plots became more stale and concepts started becoming samey, and what Timmy and the fairies could do was becoming tapped out. Interviewers were asking Butch about the difficulty of coming up with new, fresh ideas. But Butch would confidently answer that it may be difficult, but their team does their best to make everything fresh and new. While it holds true that for a long-standing series, revitalizing them with new concept or characters can help grant new life, despite the many ideas Butch put into revitalizing Fairly OddParents, the key issue with all of them is that they really changed nothing. They were more like a bandage rather than a cure, since the show would inevitably go back to the same status quo. Proof was Cosmo and Wanda's fairy godbaby.
By 2026, any new project Hartman announces is met with immediate skepticism. His once devoted fanbase has fragmented, and his name has become associated more with controversy than with the cartoons that made him famous. In the world of YouTube animation, good faith and creativity build legends, while greed and dishonesty build nothing but cautionary tales. The community has seen both kinds of creators, and they know exactly which ones deserve their support. If you want to see more videos breaking down the stories behind your favorite creators, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video.